How much fun is it to be at this point and know you're in the hunt here?
Oh, it's amazing. I think every week we've come in and we've all gotten a little bit more confident and more learned from, what happened earlier in the season, and just getting that confidence back. Learning from those mistakes. Taking them humbly, but yeah, learning and getting confidence. It's been huge. It's awesome.
What has changed since Ohio?
I truly think it's been just us all understanding we got to play as a defense a little bit more. I feel like we had a lot of guys, myself included, we had a lot of guys first year starting, and I think that you fall back to your fundamentals. And if we didn't have perfect fundamentals coming in, then you're kind of isolating yourself. And I feel like we were a little bit broken, at least as a defense at times, And so I feel like as we've played more, we've gotten more comfortable. I feel like we've come together as a defense a lot better.
Caleb talked about after that Ohio game feeling like the team needed to kind of collectively look in the mirror and ask themselves what kind of team they wanted to be. Did you kind of feel that same way, and how did you approach that, I guess?
Definitely. When you play a team like Ohio, you go in there with a little bit of an ego, and we can't be doing that. We don't have the playmakers like a lot of other teams do. We got to play solid defense, and so yeah, it just helped us out a lot being there.
What have you seen out of Baylor?
The big thing we've been looking at early in the week, we focus more on the run. And they're a big run team. They're kind of like Cincinnati was last week, where they're trying to get the ball in that perimeter. So just knowing we've got to corral them, cut that line off as a defensive line, kind of pierce through their O-line and just make them play only half the field, knock them back and just be vertical.
How do you feel about the spot you're in, I guess, in that same vein, to play a team similar to Cincinnati, have that off week, kind of regroup and recoup and go into this game with facing an offense that seems to be a little similar to Cincy?
Yeah, I think it helps us out because we saw what worked with Cincinnati, what didn't work with Cincinnati, and I feel like the carryovers and calls that we've had from 2 weeks ago to this week were similar. We had plays that we weren't going to call in Cincinnati installed now because we understand kind of how they're going to go a little bit better. So I think it's helped us out a lot and just that overall understanding.
I know you're worried about the defensive side of the ball, but going against Rocco for the last 8 weeks or so, where have you seen his growth the most over the last 2 months?
I think his confidence has gotten up. I know in the earlier games we were trying to run the ball a little bit more, but the offense kind of figuring out on their identity and who they are as a unit has helped out Rocco, and just his confidence, and it was his first time starting. So I think just having that barrier broken, kind of getting into the flow, and I think he's just gotten a lot more confident in himself and the people around him.